Okay, hi. In this screencast, I just want to give you some tips and tricks about using your Weebly website. So, the first thing you might notice is that you usually have a big header here, and sometimes that can really take up a lot of kind of the real estate, and it makes it tough to notice that there's actually information down here. So you may want to play around with the header to see, especially if you do have information down here, you may want to play around with the header size just to you see what looks best. Okay, so there we've changed it. Now when I go to the website, I'll notice that there's content here that I need to scroll down and read. Okay, so you've got a lot of options obviously to change with that. So whatever looks right. Now the next thing is formatting. It can be kind of tough with Weebly to format it perfectly, but I do want to point out a few things, a few elements. One is this spacers element. Okay, I can drag that spacer in and I can really drop it anywhere. So if I wanted a bigger space in here, I could drop it here. If I want a bigger space between these two areas, I could drop it here. So I'll put it in right here. And then what I can do is I can, drag the columns around kind of to fit the way I want to. And then I can also obviously put another element below the spacer if I wanted to. So if I wanted to put some more text in there or anything like that, I could do that. Okay, so utilize those spacers and also the dividers here. The dividers are nice ways of breaking up is a nice way of breaking up the content so that it's easy to differentiate the different sections. Okay. Now a lot of you I've noticed are going to be using these buttons here, and by default they're not linked to anything. Okay, they say learn more. Now you can always link those out to new pages that you create. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll create some new pages. I'll come up here to the Pages tab, and it shows me the pages that I have. I'm going to click the plus sign, and I'll just do a standard page. There are some other options, but I'll just choose a standard page. And then I'll do, maybe I'm creating a product. So maybe I'm creating a bunch of different products. So I want a store page. Okay, so I can click Save. All right, now what what I want if I go back to my home page is maybe in this store I've got, let's say I'm selling fruit. So I've got, or I'm selling produce. So I've got fruit, I've got vegetables, okay, and then maybe I've got, I don't know, bulk food. Okay. Now I'll give a little description about each, and then I want to link these buttons to each a separate page. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I can create 3 new pages. I'm going to do a standard page, and I'll call it fruit. Okay. I'll create another page and call it veggies, and a third page, call it bulk. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily want all of these pages on my navigation. I definitely don't need fruit, veggies, and bulk in it because they all actually fall under one category, which is my store. So if you take a look at this, I'm going to actually just click on the left side of here and drag it over a little bit so that it's indented. Okay. And what that does is it takes them out of my navigation and it creates a drop-down menu. Okay, so that's really nice, especially if you have something like this where you've got on your home page. Let's go back to build. Okay, where I've got these things that don't necessarily need their own site in the or their own label in the navigation, but I can link to them separately through a drop-down menu. Now what I can do is I can link these buttons. I can click on the button. I can say learn more. I could say something like buy now, and then I can link it. And what I want to do is I want to choose a standard page, and I'll go down to fruit, click save, and then I'll come over here and I'll do buy now again. Okay, and I'll link it to another standard page, and I'll do my veggies, and you kind of get the idea. Okay, so if you're doing a store like that, a store site, you could always create buttons like that. If you're doing an informational site and you got different categories, you could do learn more or more information, something like that. Okay, so now each of those will go to those pages. Okay, so let me click publish, and just check it out. Okay, so now I have my drop-down menu where I can access the pages there, and I can also, if I'm on my site and I'm reading, I can click and it'll take me to my fruit page. Okay, all right, so that's how you can kind of add drop-down menus and adding those additional pages. Now another page you do have to add is a citation or a reference page. So I'm gonna go up to pages and add a new standard page, and I can call this references. Okay, and save. Now references, I don't want references in my navigation bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to check this box, hide in navigation. Okay, so now it's not showing up in my navigation, but I want to also link to it somewhere. And in a previous screencast, I linked to it from my contact page. So after I set up my contact page here, what I can do is I can just create I can just create another text box. I can drag the element text box maybe just down, just somewhere, just kind of randomly, and I can call it references. Okay, now what I want to do is I can highlight that text, I can click on the create link button, and I can do a standard page again and go down to references. Okay, so I'll publish, come to my contact page, and there's my link right there to references. Okay, so references isn't in my navigation bar, but I can still access it. All right, so you can have hidden pages, you can have multiple pages that don't show up in the menu. I've got now 8 pages, but only 4 are showing up in the navigation. So you really got a lot of leeway as far as that goes. Okay, so use those tips. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to create a new screencast from. Thank you.